The 10 best smartphones of 2018. A couple more phones have been launched since MWC, and further use of others encouraged us to update the list of top smartphones. 1. Huawei P20 Pro. While US people who use a product or service will have to resort to eBay to pick one up, the Huawei P20 Pro is one of the most exciting phones of 2018. Like nothing else in the world, triple camera design with 68 megapixel worth of shooting power should help you take some fantastic shots with a low light mode that beats out all the other smartphones available today. Huawei has been including huge ability to hold something electrical storage devices in its flagships, and the P20 Pro is no exception, with 4000 mAh that is sure to get you through at least one full busy day. It has a large 6.1-inch OLED with a notch you can show hide, a powerful Kirin 970 processor with combined different things together so they worked as one unit, AI, IP67 dust and water resistance, and more. Huawei's EMUI has come a long way, and the home screen now has a standard Google feed on one panel with a connecting point way of interacting with something that is close to stock. When Huawei does provide software and settings beyond stock Android, those serve to improve the device rather than messy piles of things it up and slow it down. The P20 Pro flies through every action and is an extreme joy to use. 2. Samsung Galaxy S9, S9 Plus. Samsung launched the Large Star System, Large Group of Things, S9 and S9 Plus more than a month ago. It's a change for the better over time in the Large Star System, Large Group of Things S-line, but one that leads as close to perfection as you can expect for a smartphone today. Samsung's Infinity Display continues to take the top spot with every new release doing better than the Apple iPhone X that lived in that spot for a few months. There is 6 GB of RAM. The fastest Qualcomm Flower 845 mobile processor, a rear dual opening camera, another one with super slow motion support, S9 Plus only, the ability to add inexpensive micro SD cards, improved Bixby Assistant and a hardware button dedicated to its use, Samsung Pay payment technology, wireless and fast charging, IP68 dust and water resistance, a USB Type-C standard port, and traditional 3.5mm headset jack. It also launches with Android 8.0 Oreo. There is nothing missing from the Large Star System, Large Group of Things, S9 Plus, and it deserves the top spot. Experiences in my usage that convinced me to place the S9 Plus above the iPhone X, including the RF performance of the S9 Plus. It holds a connection longer, with faster speeds, than the iPhone X on T-Mobile in the same area. The S9 Plus also has a newer Qualcomm modem than the iPhone X and also supports T-Mobile's 600 MHz spectrum. For work, it is tough to beat the Large Star System, Large Group of Things, S9 Plus. The Samsung Large Star System, Large Group of Things, S9 and S9 Plus are available now at prices starting at $720 S9 and $840 S9 Plus. T-Mobile and Samsung have the best prices, with other carriers adding more premiums on top of the MSRP. If you buy an unlocked one from Samsung, it will not contain carrier unwanted programs and apps, and is priced lower than most US carriers too, compared to the $1,000 plus iPhone X. The S9 and S9 Plus are not priced too high. We have also, not very long ago, seen special offers dropping the price lower as Samsung sales are not as high as expected. Look ahead to 3. Apple iPhone X. The Apple iPhone X has been available for more than 2, but not a lot of, months now, and regular readers may be stunned to know I still have one. It is the highest price a lot of people sell something to a lot of people phone to launch, with a starting price of $999 for 64 gigabytes and $1,149 for 256 gigabytes. But it seems most people are buying it on a payment plan so that the cost is spread out over time and not as shocking as an one-time payment price. The iPhone X is the first, like nothing else in the world, iPhone design we have seen since the original iPhone launched 10 years ago. It has a large 5.8-inch front display with almost nothing, very little, clear, flat, front surfaces, and no front home button. A Samsung OLED panel is used for the first time on an iPhone. There is a dual rear camera setup with a new way to use the iPhone due to the lack of a home button and traditional power button, without buttons on the front. The iPhone X depends on advanced facial recognition to unlock and use Apple Pay. It performs reliably and goes far past the ability to do things of Samsung's closely examining the colored part of a person's eyes technology. Apple finally includes wireless charging too, so you can conveniently charge it by simply setting it down on a wireless charging device. The iPhone X is powered by the new A11 mechanical devices that help people move, chip an M11 motion coprocessor so it flies with iOS 11. It has an IP67 dust and water resistant rating. Glass is now used on the back to support wireless charging. The front-facing camera is 7 megapixels and labeled True Depth so you can take portrait selfies. The iPhone X is the most advanced iPhone to date and offers some new experiences with the front display. This includes long, big hand movement-related support and new ways to access functions on the iPhone. It offers a big screen experience in a rather compact package when compared to other large-screen smartphones. 4. LG G7 THINQ. If you've read about the LG G7 Think, you have probably seen that most people state it is not exciting and there is nothing that, like nothing else in the world, and forceful, interesting to make people choose the LG G7. To be honest, you could say that about most phones, as we have reached peak smartphone and there is very little left that manufacturers can do to raise the bar. That said, I have now spent 5 days with a pre-production device and 1 day with a T-Mobile retail unit and find the LG G7 Think to be one of my favorites. Pricing has not yet been told about. But if LG launches it for less than the Samsung S9, then I may be likely to bump this up to possibly number 2 in my list. Like the Samsung large star system, large group of things, S9 Plus. The LG G7 Think has everything but the kitchen sink included. It has a 3.5mm headphone jack. Dual camera setup. One is widescreen that is, like nothing else in the world among the dual camera devices, wireless charging, IP68 rating, microSD, active something getting bigger, wider, etc. Card for inexpensive unlimited storage, active something getting bigger, wider, etc. A screen that extends nearly the full front with a notch, and amazing sound support. The LG G7 Think includes AI elements in its camera and brings the best from the LG V30 video camera with Cine video mode and more. LG set the bar for phone cameras a few years ago and may be doing it again with the LG G7 Think. 5. Samsung Galaxy Note 8 large star system, large group of things. Note 8 was in the top spot for a couple of months because it was the most advanced smartphone available to buy, and many people would say could still be placed in the top spot. B. Large star system, large group of things. S9 Plus offers a few improvements, but no S Pen, and the iPhone X is also a very forceful, interesting smartphone. The Samsung large star system, large group of things. Note 8 has all of the excellent large star system, large group of things foundation aspects found in the S9 and S9 Plus. But it doesn't yet have Android 8 Oreo. It uses the Huawei 835 processor, and the camera does not have dual mechanical opening. That said, it has the S Pen, and if you enjoy using a stylus with your phone, then the Note 8 cannot be beat. The Samsung large star system, large group of things. Note 8 is available now at a price ranging from $930 to $960, depending on the carrier. 6. Google Pixel 2 XL and Pixel 2. The Google Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL bring some features I wanted to see: water resistance and smaller, clear, flat front surfaces on the XL, and some I didn't. Removal of standard 3.5mm headset jack. Both are excellent phones with a stock Android experience, so if you want a phone functioning the way Google designed Android to operate, then the Pixel 2 may be the one. The Google Pixel 2 XL has a large 6-inch 18:9 display, Huawei 835 processor, 4GB of RAM, 64GB and 128GB, combine different things together so they worked as one unit. Storage. Single rear 12-megapixel camera, IP67 dust and water resistance, a 3520 mAh electrical storage device, and dual front stereo speakers. The smaller Pixel 2 has a 5-inch display and smaller electrical storage device, while the rest of the specs are the same as the XL model. There is no wireless charging, a 3.5mm headset jack on either phone. The smaller Pixel 2 starts at $649, while the Pixel 2 XL starts at $849 for the 64GB model. They are both powered by Android 8.0 Oreo and will get OS upgrades for 3 years. Google's newest assistant features are present along with some other Google software advances. 7. Apple iPhone 8s Plus. The new Apple iPhone 8s Plus look like the iPhone 7s Plus, but have glass backs for wireless charging support. In addition, the new iPhones have an little improved processor, improved camera, and improved LCD display. There are stereo speakers for good sound performance, but no standard 3.5mm headphone jack. These new iPhones have fast charging support, so they can gain up to 50% of electrical storage device ability to hold do something in 30 minutes. There is no longer an 128GB ability to hold do something option with 64GB and 256GB models available. The iPhone 8 is priced at $699 and $849, while the iPhone 8 Plus is priced at $749 and $949. 8. Huawei Mate 10 Pro. The Mate 10 Pro did not launch directly on US carriers with some government security concerns, but was available at different stores for $799. You can now find it on Amazon and other locations for $690, and it still is a great phone. One good thing about not being connected with a US carrier is that the phone is not loaded with unnecessary unwanted programs and apps. The Mate 10 Pro has a 6-inch 18:9 OLED display. Kirin 970 processor with nerve-related, brain-related network processing unit, Android 8.0 Oreo with EMUI 8, 6GB RAM, 128GB internal storage, dual rear cameras, 8-megapixel front-facing camera, and a huge 4000 mAh electrical storage device. One function that tells apart the Huawei Mate 10 Pro from the Pixel 2 for the business project is the ability to connect via the USB Type-C port to a monitor, keyboard, and mouse for a nearly full desktop experience. The Large Star System, Large Group of Things, Note 8 and Large Star System, Large Group of Things, S9, S9 Plus can do this through a DeX device. But the Mate 10 Pro doesn't even need a separate device to complete this function. 9. OnePlus 5T. We see the launch of the OnePlus 5T with a larger 18:9, the width, the height, like 4:3 display, and improvements that make it a very forceful, interesting smartphone. The price, $499 and $559, 128GB model, are a major factor in thinking about when one thinks about this phone when there are flagships from $950 to more than $1,000. The OnePlus 5T incorporates a face and lock system, has a dual rear camera setup, and more than 2, but not a lot of, software customization options to make the phone producing a lot with very little waste for daily use. Rather than a glass sandwich design that is popular with most phones today, the OnePlus 5T has a unibody aluminum shell with a comfortable size and shape and high-quality construction. The OnePlus 5T is available with 6GB RAM and 64GB internal storage for just $499. Unlike some other flagships from Samsung and LG, the OnePlus line has a history of regular updates and also an active community of users and developers, so you can spend time customizing it to your heart's desire. I've spent a month with the phone and it is a great device, but it is no longer available as OnePlus gears up to launch the OnePlus 6. I enjoyed using Android 8 in beta form while also enabling hand movement related support that we now see is coming in Android P. 10. Sony Xperia XZ2. It has been a while since I have had a Sony Xperia phone on my 10 best list. But after moving the fingerprint scanner to the rear and refreshing the design a bit, it is tough to pass up on the latest Sony Xperia XZ2. The Sony Xperia XZ2 launched with the newest Qualcomm Flower 845 processor, Android 8.0 Oreo, 4GB of RAM, 64GB of internal storage with microSD card support, IP68 water and dust resistance, a 5.7-inch triluminos display, 19-megapixel rear camera with super slow movement, 960 fps support, and stereo speakers. The price is $799.99, which pits it against the other highest-priced Android flagships. Sandra Vogel posted a full review of the Xperia XZ2 on ZDNet and awarded it a 7.5/10 rating. The electrical storage device life and camera were two of her cons, which isn't surprising, since Sony hasn't been able to get the camera competitive with others for years. In the next few weeks we will see the OnePlus 6 and an HTC phone announced, so it is likely that these two will enter this top 10 list of smartphones. That should be it for more than 2, but not a lot of months when Apple and Google then announce new phones at the end of the summer.